Zen, if you think about a boxer, right before they knock someone out, they're very relaxed, right? Well, unless you're Mike Tyson. But usually it's like, right, someone throws a jab, they throw a jab, and then they see it coming, and then they kind of put all the power, but it's very precise movement, right? It's very controlled. So if you think about using that RMT rope, right, the key in soccer is actually to stay relaxed, even when you're striking the ball, even when you're under high pressure, because if you can stay relaxed, then you can make good choices. If you're stressed out and can't see the field, or you're stressed mentally even before you get into the game, right, you can't make good decisions. So even, right, using the kick trainer, the reason why I encourage you to use the kick trainer and the reason why I encourage you to use the RMT rope is to get these repetitions in while you're breathing, because as you're adapting to your own movement and gaining awareness of where your body is in time and space, and doing rotations of the RMT rope, as you're doing rotations of juggling, the whole point is to be able to breathe effectively. Right, because if you're not breathing and you can't be relaxed while juggling, then when it comes into a high pressure situation, like if you can't be relaxed here, and you can't be breathing here, then how are you going to be able to get into game-like scenarios, put the ball where you want it to, right? So for that reason, it all starts right here. Right? Relaxed, breathing, flowing, right? Feel where you are. Be like, just move around. Some people are scared to move around in their own body, right? They don't know, like they feel like almost like they'll laugh at themselves and they're almost embarrassed, even if they're by themselves in their own room. They're like uncomfortable to move. You gotta move around, right? You gotta explore your own space, because by moving around, then, and like being silly, right? Just like moving your arms, being comfortable in your own skin, and then when you get to practice, right? If you have nice control of your own body, then you can like just move, and then when the ball comes to you, it's pop, 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 right? Just smoking that ball, but it all comes from being able to warm yourself up properly for the game and making it so your practice, your individual practice is more intense than your team's practice, so that you elevate the training of your whole team, because your practice is so relaxed yet so focused in a relaxed way that when it comes to the game, you've risen your team training so much so that your team training is now more competitive, right? If your intensity level at team practice is more intense, and your games, right, your team's inter-competition is so intense, is more intense than any other team you face, you're gonna have a very successful season. But if you can't raise the level of your team in practice, then, and your team's intensity level, you know, that combines your coach's team strategy and all your players' performance kind of, you know, in an absolute value, like all together in combination. If you guys can't be more intense than the other team, then you're gonna have a bad time, right? But it all starts with personal practice. If you can stay very relaxed while still being focused and intense, then you're gonna have great success. Right, and this, you know, you're asking about shooting power. It's about staying relaxed when the ball comes to you, because if you're nervous and panicked, you're never going to have the peace of mind to be able to scan the space before you receive the ball, to know where to pop the ball up, to create the space for yourself that you could rip it on goal. So, you know, a lot of players, they practice shooting, and they'll spend the whole practice shooting and shooting and shooting. That's the only thing they do. Yet when it comes to game, they won't score a goal, because they can't create, they haven't spent the time juggling, they haven't spent the time dribbling, and for that reason, they can't take the ball out of the air, they can't create space for themselves when it comes to 1v1 with defenders, right? They can't connect passes on the field, which means they can't help advance their team to get into the final third. It's like the simple things. It's not this mysterious, there's a quote that goes, it's not a mysterious technique that drives us to the top, rather a profound mastery of the fundamentals. That's Josh Waitzkin. So these are the fundamentals. The Tom Turnbull dribbling sequence, an RMT rope that's multi-directional, balance and locomotion. being able to being fluid and being, right, so you can be dynamic and so you won't sustain a non-contact injury, right, and being able to be fluid and flowing, right? If you can float here, then when you get the ball at your feet, and then being able to juggle different size balls. Right, so, I mean, I've made you the same video just in 3 different, right? Every single video I make is the same. I don't know if you realize. There's only 2 routes. It's like if you need to improve technical skills, it's Tom Turnbull for dribbling, or Fanta System Mickey, or a dribble up ball. Or bring a ball everywhere you go and just dribble it everywhere. That's what you want to do to improve dribbling. To improve juggling, it's juggle just a whole bunch of different size balls, and also juggle into a barrel that's like a few yards away with different size balls. For movement, right? Just to improve your ability to move quickly and nimbly on the field. So if you don't feel coordinated, it's using arm T rope. Right? If your fitness is poor, or if your timing is poor, coordination is poor, agility is poor, this is the way to go. This is effortless soccer strength, highly transferable to the field. Right? Then the next step is learning the alternating underhand sneak. Right? This is going to make you more explosive. And then if you want effortless ball striking and improving your first touch, it's a kick trainer. And then the underlying thing underneath all this is learning how to breathe effectively. And that's it. And then you have Kador Zayani, 7 postures to be able to stretch out. Or you have Ido Portal, squat clinic, to gain, to gain more strength and mobility in squats and different poses. And then like, just a little tactical things in terms of like what to pack in a bag, or what to maybe eat, what to eat, or what to kind of do before you go to sleep. But you'll learn that over time. But like, this is the recipe. Breathing is the most important thing. Then it's movement, right? Because if you can't warm up effectively, and you sprain your hamstring, you sprain your groin or hip flexor, you can't train. If you can't train, you can't get better every day. So it's not about who starts, and it's not about who's starting the game. It's about who lasts the season, who's still getting better the last game and the day after the last game. And then it's like, it's perpetual. It never ends. It doesn't have to end. I don't want it to end, right? So it's breathing, movement, then it's dribbling, juggling, and ball striking. That's it. And then maybe you could put on 1v1, spending some time playing 1v1 against people with a small ball to cones. And then, right at the top, it's like bring a ball everywhere you go. That's it, right? I mean, then there's things you learn over time, but it's like the little things that add up every single day. Right, so if you got a little bit of money and you want to invest in a dribble up ball, that's a great tool at home. If you don't want to spend a little bit of money, then you just do that Tom Turnbull dribbling sequence over and over and over. Outside, outside, inside, outside, inside. Outside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, outside, inside, outside, inside, scissor. Outside, outside, inside, outside, scissor. Outside, outside, inside, outside, scissor, outside. That sets up the shot on goal, right? But to have the nice striking technique, you gotta spend the time juggling, right? So it's just a minute a day of juggling, dribbling, and using a kick trainer and an arm T rope. Arm T rope gets you warmed up, and then everything else falls into place. Take care of yourself before bed. Stretch, hot shower, take your mouth, eye mask. That's it. Then wake up, hydrate, turn all your lights on, cold shower, make your bed, get after it. Minute a day. That's where you start. A minute turns to 2, 2 turns to 4, 4 turns to 8. Come on, get after it.